Hello. Where am I? I've forgotten what I'm doing. I lost my memory because I bumped my head so hard. No? Nobody's gonna help me here? I see. I'm looking.
We all saw it happen.
I'm looking at a Google Doc that says, "Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends, where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers."
You did not tell us that we are participatory in this.
Anyway,
No,
I think I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two friends of ours, Tiago.
Yo.
And Rose.
Hi.
If you are a first-time listener, Dessy and I are the longtime fans of Ace Attorney, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us. Today, I think, we have all played through 2-1, The Lost Turnabout, the first game of Game 2. First case of Game 2, titled Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. So this is the first case of Game 2, and it's the tutorial case. You know, it is to get everybody back on track. They have to have a little bit of an onboarding ramp for people who have not played the first game. But we've all done that. So this is a little old hat for us, but the way they decide to do this, to introduce new players to all the mechanics all over again, is by having Phoenix Wright, our titular hero, getting bashed over the head with a fire extinguisher and losing his memory.
Oh, man.
Honestly, I was really
viciously attacked in broad daylight in a public room where
with
there
two
are
guards.
people standing guard in front of
the
the
two
door.
guards are standing there perfectly still, saw the whole thing happen and didn't react at all.
Those guards are painted into the wall, and we all know that.
Hi.
They're not real.
Oh,
They're
man.
fathead stickers.
They're cardboard standees.
This really got me because I have had a very minor concussion before, and I couldn't remember who my homeroom teacher was in high school, and I was out of the soccer game for the rest of the entire game, and I had to have nurses look at me, and yada yada. And this man, they just are like, yeah, get up there, go to court. Like, he needs to go to the hospital.
I work for neurologists.
Yeah, you also.
He should go to the hospital.
You would know best of any
That's
of
true.
us.
This is a mystery / comedy video game.
You're
comedy.
right. You're right.
So, but yes, it's very, very funny that his first instinct is just to push through it.
It says a lot about Phoenix Wright's character that he gets amnesia delivered by fire extinguisher on the back of the head, and he thinks to himself, well, might as well roll with the punches.
Mhm.
And then just keep going.
This seems like what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'm
It's
just
just
gonna
his-
keep doing it.
It's his can-do spirit.
There's the trope
The fact
of,
that he just generally gets used to being beat the fuck up in court.
Maybe.
This is the dark age of the law.
This is still the dark age of the law. Also, this is a cartoon, and in cartoons, if you get bonked over the head, a lump rises with a slide whistle, and then you get amnesia, and that's how that works.
Yeah.
And it happened to Phoenix, right?
Sure did.
So, if you have not played this case, the general gist of it is the game opens with Phoenix reclining very sexily in a
That's true.
couch.
That's true. He was.
Wait, was that sexy?
Yeah.
Ask Miles, I guess.
I thought he was a Slav.
It was a cute bit of art, regardless.
A little sloppy. Yeah.
Maybe that's what
lounging
makes it sexy,
sloppily.
is the sloppily, yeah.
in this couch in the court lobby, and the villain for the case is leaning around the corner, sneaking up on him and smashes him over the head with this fire extinguisher so that he can steal something from Phoenix.
Phoenix
Bum,
was
bum, bum.
spared only by his safety spikes.
Yeah, they impact the it actually pierced the fucking fire extinguisher and it went.
Can you
off in the
imagine, though?
courtroom.
The fire extinguisher pops.
So he's Phoenix then wakes up and realizes slowly over the course of the next conversation with his client Maggie Bird that he is defending her from a murder accusation, of course, in which she has been accused of killing her lover, a fellow police officer. Of course, over the remainder of the case, there are many little details that are revealed. Like, she wasn't actually dating him. It was just like a gift for him covering a shift.
Wait, they weren't dating?
Yeah, she explicitly later says that they weren't dating, and he just covered a shift for her, and that's why she bought him this yellow baseball glove.
I played through the fucking case, and I did not process that. I was pretty sure that,
She straight up says we weren't dating.
Well,
it was like a sentence or two, and that was
my
it.
interpretation of... Well, here's the thing, is that if a coworker ever covered my shift, like Rose did, once or twice, straight up, I did just buy her a coffee. I would not buy her a custom print baseball glove.
Yeah, no, coffee.
Bright yellow.
I used to. This is weird. I used to keep a list of all my work favors that I owed people, and who owed me work favors, so that I would know who to call first if I was sick and needed somebody to cover me.
Was on the list?
When I owed you a favor, you were, and when you owed me a favor, you were.
Okay.
And then if I covered a shift for you, I would be like, okay, Tiago owes me one favor, and I would write it down. And then if you covered a shift for me, I would take your name off of that list, because then we were square.
All I'm learning from this is that if I ever owe Rose anything, I gotta keep it square. I keep it in my logbook too.
I would never ask for anything unreasonable.
Okay, understood.
I like lists.
So yeah, I guess. What?
I like lists.
That's true. You do. So if there's anything I learned just now is that they weren't dating, even though I played this whole case. Yes, I had to rip myself away from Pokemon Legends Arceus to play this case yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm timing this episode by saying that in between now and the previous game, famed Pokemon game Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. This is about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I like.
Yeah, start your own podcast.
Yeah, I'll start my own podcast about Pokemon Legends Arceus. I liked Maggie Bird, the client.
Oh, she was
very
so
cute.
cute.
Maggie's
so
great.
cute.
So like the basis of the case is that the victim
was
Dustin Prince.
Yes, he was pushed.
He was pushed off a railing at a park and fell and broke his neck. And before he died, he managed to write down the name of his killer, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Broke his neck.
He broke his neck, but as he broke his neck, he had enough time to write out a whole name. Maggie.
Weird, huh?
Weird. I love Dustin Prince. I figured out the pun to his name immediately, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. He's Dustin Prince, like fingerprints.
Yeah.
And Maggie Bird is like a bird, because she's got feathers, and she's...
Apparently the feathers mean something.
Yeah, while we were on the stream, Iro dug up that I guess
Friend
these
of the
feathers.
podcast, Iro.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Iro.
He's basically
who's
our friend, and we love him.
Yes, and he's been on
Every fucking
every
episode.
stream. Yeah, every single time our guest chair is filled up with Iro. It's funny how it works out that way.
I mean, it's not going to be the guest chair anymore. It's the Iro chair.
Well, I just think it's a funny bit to keep saying that there's a rotating guest chair with a new guest every week, and every single week it's always Iro. That's just my bit.
Let's explain,
personally that
let's
I
explain
think is
the bit on the podcast.
Yeah.
That'll make
Well,
it
I didn't know
funnier.
I was ruining the bit. Okay.
But yeah, basically the feathers are representative of charity work that she did through the police, is my understanding. So it is something like that Japanese folks would recognize as like, oh, that means that this person's done a lot of charity work through the police, and has donated a lot and that sort of thing. These little red feathers on her jacket. So yeah,
I thought You know how, like, when you called someone bird-brained?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's what this was, right?
I mean, I don't
She's
know.
not... I don't know.
She doesn't seem like that out of it.
No, that's true. I mean, no, Phoenix was fucking out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, like,
Uh,
Phoenix, rise from the ashes, here's a bird, the theming.
mm-hmm. We get to see Winston Payne again. He's our first, prosecutor that we
dummy.
encounter again for our first case.
Ouchie.
And he thinks that he's got this one in the bag again.
I
And
forgot
he's
that his
flailing.
objections... Yeah, I forgot that his objection sounds terrible.
Objection!
He's so
Exactly.
annoying.
I kind of love him. There was Maggie.
And
Go ahead.
oh.
Sorry.
no, I was just gonna then introduce the killer then.
Oh, I forgot his name, but I love him.
Richard Wellington,
He's a dick.
a self-proclaimed drifting virtuoso who was just looking for the right college, he claimed.
Yeah.
But in reality, he is actually part of a group of thieves, and con artists who've been ravaging the neighborhood, I suppose, would be the way that they kind of put it then.
Their entire operation got brought down here.
Yeah. You got the entire operation got brought down by an amnesiac concussed lawyer.
And his lovely assistant who has returned.
Yeah. She that's true. At the very, very end of the case, then we get to see Maya again.
When she showed up, I thought it was part of the concussion. I thought
you did, yeah.
I thought that he was looking at Maggie Bird, being like, "Hey, you look kind of familiar," and like imagining.
I thought I had a concussion because I was like, I could not fucking remember this entire case, and I was like, I thought we didn't get Maya back yet. What the fuck?
Well, she's back,
like, this
but we
whole
don't.
case disappeared from my memory.
We don't remember how she came back, so she's just back.
Is she?
And then it's revealed that case 2, which we'll get to next time, is actually before this case here.
Oh.
Chronologically speaking. And so case 2, we will tell the story of how we meet Maya again after she's been away training for a bit.
Spirit medium training, because ghosts are real in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for more ghosts. Next case.
Wait, what? What?
So no, we can't get into it.
Don't tell me. I can't.
Yeah, we're like
we'll
like
get
20 minutes into this recording. We gotta focus on case 1.
So, how did you all feel going through a quote unquote tutorial case again? Was there too many? Was there much of a hassle to get back into the swing of things? Did you feel like you were being hampered, or okay, I get it. Let me get in there and actually just nail Wellington, Rose, we'll start with you, I guess.
Let's see. I enjoyed this case overall, even though it's a tutorial case. It was still had some good laughs for sure. Difficulty wise, I feel like now of course I can't remember what it was, but I had some moment where I was like a couple steps ahead. Oh, now I remember. So with the phone booth, he's like, "Oh, I called at this time." But but there's a phone booth right next to the dead body, which is how you catch him, because he's trying to like fix the scene.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah. And I struggled because obviously he says, "Oh, I looked for a phone booth," but he hadn't said that yet. So I had to get him to admit that he had to go look for a phone booth, and I was like, "Why would it take you like 15 minutes to call the police when there's a phone booth right next to it?" And I had to follow the story a little bit more, but I was just like, "Why isn't this working? Like, I must be presenting it wrong."
Mm-hmm.
But that was my only like moment of frustration. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, but lots of good laughs. Just a very silly premise.
Did you like the baseball glove?
The baseball glove bananas, yes.
It's very funny.
Overall, I liked it. The judge was very cute. Incredibly moe.
Moe through incompetence.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Gumshoe was there. Love to see Gumshoe. It was awesome. So, looking forward to the actual story next time, but it was a funny little bit there to teach me the rules again.
Gumshoe was the first witness.
Fuck evidence law, though, you know?
Listen, evidence law doesn't matter until we're still in the dark ages of the law, okay?
Evidence law doesn't matter anymore because the person who cared about that is in prison now.
Where he belongs.
Well, no, they submitted it into fucking the court as evidence, didn't they?
We're just referring to the little book from Case 5 of last game. And the rules of evidence law and how that is kind of, ignored
it's
a
like
bit now.
Yeah, it's like a huge part of the last case of the first game, but then after that,
wait, was it not like done to the letter in this one?
Oh hell no, they don't do it like ever again.
What are the 2 rules of evidence law?
It has to be approved by the police.
Yeah, it has to be approved by the police, or it has to be proven relevant to the case.
I felt like they proved that this evidence was relevant to the case.
Yeah, no, I mean, it generally holds true, but every once in a while, if you will just bring up something that...
Yeah, when you start to do your own investigating and you find things, you just put them in your pocket, and then you bring them to court.
Yeah, but I didn't have time to shove my pockets full of evidence this time around.
That's true,
I had amnesia.
Everything here was approved by the police, aside from your cell phone. When you do the cell phone swapper at the end.
Well, that proved to be relevant to the case because the client mentioned his phone earlier. So that was relevant to the case. What I'm saying is that from now on, I'm going to go through every piece of evidence in fucking Ace Attorney, and I'm going to see whether or not it follows the evidence.
I don't think they have any issue making things relevant to cases because if you find evidence, it's evidence that's going to be used.
Well, no, but it has
things do not get approved by the police on numerous occasions.
I think what it is that the evidence has to be brought up by the testimony before you can just bring it up to the evidence. So we just have to make sure that every piece of evidence from now on is brought up by the witness. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna do it.
Otherwise, we just can't complete.
This is Tiago. This is the mini podcast inside a podcast. Tiago examines the evidence, alright?
Okay.
Evidence examination. I felt like they did it around this time. They mentioned the baseball... Well, no. The baseball glove was completely irrelevant to this case. They just decided to bring it up. You know what? They did break evidence law this time.
The baseball glove was relevant. It was relevant because he said they tried to... It played on the fact that he was left-handed, and the glove is for a left-hander.
Yeah, but
the fact that the guy thought it was bananas, but it's not bananas, and they were like, "Oh, guess what? Not bananas, you dumbass! You just can't see." Oh,
but that wasn't brought up by the testimony. Phoenix literally just went, "What did he buy? What did she buy him?" And the Gumshoe went, "I think it was a baseball glove." And I guess Dick Gumshoe brought it up, and then therefore Phoenix was right. All right, bring it up. It's relevant.
It all comes back to this.
It's relevant.
It all works out.
All right, I guess it was.
Some notes here. Maggie has a Blue Badger hoodie on in her flashbacks with Prince at the park.
I saw that.
And this is basically like the first appearance of Blue Badger as the official mascot, aside from that little tiny weird doll, in the background. This is the first time you can actually legitimately see the Blue Badger. Chronologically speaking, as these games came out, this would have been the first appearance of the Blue Badger. So
I like it.
Already setting things up for the future.
The issue that I had in this case was literally the first fucking question. When the guy gave his testimony, I was like, clearly he wrote her name on this end, and I went, yeah, he did, huh? That's a good point. I can't see anything wrong with this one until your client's like, hey, check the fucking record and make sure you click my face this time. And I go,
she doesn't even say anything about the fact that she's like, that's not how my name's spelled. She's like, look at your fucking record, dumbass.
She's just trying to help.
And I'm like, I don't see why it's not relevant. It just says here your name, Maggie.
Yeah.
I felt like a Simpsons character when I said it that one time. Maggie.
it is genuinely funny how the characters will say, her name's not Maggie, it's Maggie. And they will just say it, but it's written different because it's Maggie and then Maggey. The two different times they say it, but nobody, there's nothing enunciating the lettering like as if they were spelling it out or saying EY or IE or anything like that. They just say, no, it's Maggie, not Maggie.
Well, the beauty of a non-voice acted game is you can have
it's just
things.
a fun little quirk.
Makes me think of the way that they spelled my name the other day at work. Somebody spelled it Ginny. Like they thought I said Jenny or something.
First of all, that's the first time you spelled your real name on this podcast.
That is not how you spell my name, and also it is not my name.
You heard it here first.
I know, but now we can assume what your name is.
It's
you've
not
doxed yourself.
Ginny.
We know it's not the
Nobody's
Ginny Weasley.
doxing anybody.
She doxed herself. The testimony.
Ben used my real name on the Let's Play a couple weeks ago.
Des has brought forth evidence that is now relevant to the case. Evidence law is legit. We can bring up Des's real name now. She brought it up.
What are we trying to prosecute again? I can't remember.
Des is climbing for having a real human name.
My Christian name.
Yep.
So yes, then we get Richard Wellington on the stand after Gumshoe finishes testifying, and we start to, reveal like, hey, there's some stuff going on here. Maya gives us the very useful list, which will help us, like the members of the con artist group with all their cell phone numbers. And yeah, did you all enjoy?
Funny how they have con artists' numbers, but in real life, all the con artists have our phone numbers.
Wow,
it was
yep.
20 years ago. Things changed. I think I love Richard Wellington. Straight
He
up,
was so funny.
my favorite archetype is dickish, affluent boy, and
I
that's
love
what he
Miles
was.
Edgeworth.
This man would not give me time to read his dialogue before continuing on.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
That is a certain level of like annoying. Is when I read media, I have a problem where I like to reread what the person says in order to make sure that I understand what they're saying. And this motherfucker, like his quirk is that he speaks 3 lines going forward and doesn't give you time to understand what the fuck he's saying. So I'm like, oh boy, lucky the Nintendo Switch has a feature you can record the last 30 seconds by holding the capture button. So I was able to go back through the record. This man says
Okay,
a lot
he
of
wasn't
shit.
saying anything useful.
No, this man said a lot of shit. He was just filling for time. I hate his blonde little streak. What the fuck is up with that?
Kakyoin hair. It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure hair.
Yep.
But no, Kakyoin's hair isn't dyed. His is.
No, but he had the little noodle.
I hated his noodles. A different color.
We all listen. We all hate Richard Wellington's noodle. That's all agreed.
Yep.
The court submits this as evidence.
Yeah, consensus in the court.
And it's a court record sound effect.
I liked him as a first. He also had those like 3 bottom eyelashes. You know the ones? You know when characters have those?
Yep.
It's good stuff.
The bottom lashes?
Bottom lashes. I have bottom lashes, which is why I like them.
Most humans do.
Alright, well now...
Is that an own? Is that
I mean,
Listen.
it's true.
Mine are...
I just want Tiago to feel included. I don't know what you guys are
I
arguing
have
about.
beautiful long bottom eyelashes, and I won't let you take this away from me. Fuck you.
It would be weird if anyone tried to.
If
would
someone
be
tried to
fucked
pluck
up.
my eyelashes.
Yeah.
That'd be cruel and inhuman. So, Richard Wellington, he had a scarf. He was supposed to wear glasses, but he didn't have glasses, which is why he couldn't tell the yellow glove was a glove and not a bunch of... I really thought, for a second, when they brought up the bananas, that Dustin Prince legit slipped and fell and died that way. And I thought that was the con, is that they would, like, cause injuries by having people slip and fall on bananas. I went on a wild theory.
That's huh. I love it,
Because
but
that's what they did in the film Rat Race. Is that they would like have fake accidents inside casinos, and then they would sue the casino for insurance money. And I thought that was the con, and I was like, wow, just like a Rat Race. That's what the character Seth Green and his brother did. I do not remember the actor that played Seth Green's brother. The point is, I thought that was what this was all going to culminate to, and then Phoenix just goes, "Look, everybody, the guy's got bad eyes. He's got shitty eyes," and then that was it. The bananas were never brought up again, and I was like, "Damn."
It's literally just to prove that he couldn't see for shit, and that the glasses weren't Maggie's.
I wanted this
because everyone was like, "Oh, they're really close to her prescription." It's like, bruh.
it's kind of hard to tell.
Prescriptions?
Yeah, like what I'm walking around with the tag of on my glasses.
Yeah, but like,
it's the police.
I don't know. It's just frustrating as somebody who wears glasses. Like,
guess we all wear glasses.
I know, but it's just frustrating. Like, these look like your glasses, but they're really close to your prescription. I've never seen you wear these in your life, but they must be yours.
Who's gonna say that? The only person who was close enough to Maggie is the victim, and they weren't even
close
dating.
To Maggie.
But she's the defendant. She could be lying.
I mean, I think there was a significant reasonable doubt proved quite early on in this case, but I did have incentive to catch the actual murderer this time, because he hit me in the head with a goddamn fire extinguisher and stole my phone.
Yeah.
Phoenix didn't know that.
I did.
We, the player, knew.
But you're not Phoenix.
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not playing
as
Phoenix. We're playing as one of his spikes that tells him what to do, like Ratatouille.
One of his spikes with the antenna that pick up our thoughts and decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're just ratatouilleing.
We're just ratatouilleing Phoenix.
We're just the pilots of our mecha, Phoenix.
Lawyer mecha, lawyer bot. So Richard Wellington bonked Phoenix over the head to steal what Richard thought was his phone, but it turned out to be Phoenix's phone, because for some fucking reason, they have the same exact phone.
They have the exact same model.
Like,
it's the only reason this whole thing works.
It's like when everybody had a BlackBerry when those first came out.
No, this came out in 2003, right? People would have had a sidekick. You remember the sidekicks?
This was 2002 when it came out, but yeah.
I feel like that's still appropriate time for sidekicks. Remember that lady sent a text over on Microsoft Excel in that music video?
Yes. Okay.
No follow-up questions, Your Honor.
She's so mad about it that she didn't get a response.
Because she did it on Microsoft Excel! So...
I have a small quote or two from the Takumi Corner, from his blogs that he did on the Capcom blogs after the games came out. And he writes, hello, have you all enjoyed Gyakuten Saiban 2? I was the one responsible for the scenario, just like with the first game. I felt quite some pressure during the writing process. Considering my own personal abilities, I think the first game was done quite well. But the moment it was decided that we'd work on a sequel, Gyakuten Saiban turned from a beloved child to a parent that we'd need to surpass. So I couldn't afford to lose against it. So he then goes into some of his details for why what he was doing for this game. He also has a bit again where he writes out Maya and Phoenix talking to each other about him. So so there is a quote here where he says, I started in high spirits right from the start. I couldn't come up with a fragment of an idea. It had been a year since I last worked on a plot, so perhaps I had forgotten how to do it. And then Maya says, that's strange. You'd think that usually it'd be easier to come up with ideas at the start. Phoenix says, I heard, and this is his nickname for Takumi, Takushu has several modes in his mind.
Takushu!
They call him Takushu. Yeah, because Shu Takumi, just Takushu.
That's cute.
And Maya says, What modes? And Phoenix goes, an idea thinking mode, a writing mode, and a don't work mode.
Me too.
And Maya goes, I think I get it. Phoenix, once he changes gears, it starts to move, if he has enough gas. Maya, gas? You mean... And Phoenix replies, probably his whiskey. Oh boy, says Maya.
My God, he's an alcoholic.
He's
Doesn't-
writing a fan fiction with his own OCs.
Yeah, with his own characters about him writing the first case of the game. It's just, it's goofy as hell. Yeah, it's goofy as hell. It's kind of cute, but also it's like, Takumi, please take care of yourself. I'm begging you.
Buddy, are you being a little cringe, buddy?
There's nothing cringe about making your own content, and he made content for himself, alright? When an artist paints a little doodle of himself getting his shit kicked in by his OCs, that's self-care. It's self-care.
Yeah.
I'm glad Maya's back. I like her. I was afraid we'd have a new shitty sidekick.
What do you think about Emma?
I miss Emma, but she's not coming back. She's too, high drawn. She's DS only. If anything, I'm gonna see Emma, I'm not sure whether or not she's...
Yeah, I was about to say, make your prediction carefully.
I feel like she would come back during the Apollo
You've got some pretty
games.
fucking accurate predictions, though.
Through sheer fucking luck, if I throw enough spaghetti at the wall, eventually some of it will be right.
Most of it has sucked so far.
Well, spaghetti's very sticky, as it turns out. So you can bring up people's faces as evidence now, right? And that scares me, because now there's twice as much evidence, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta remember people's faces now.
It's usually just name, age, occupation, and a sentence about them, thankfully.
But there's a whole other page for it.
Yeah, it thankfully doesn't get too complex to my recollection, but it's mostly when you need to prompt another character to talk about, character A to talk about character B, when you don't have evidence that directly relates to them. Now you can specifically go up to, Gumshoe or somebody and say, hey, Gumshoe, talk about Maggie, or something like that, by presenting Maggie's profile. And so that...
I think they do a pretty good job, kind of making you realize you have to use that stuff. It's they're very specifically talking about somebody. They break it into smaller sections in this. They're not talking about 4 or 5 different things happening at the same time in any testimony. When the testimony comes up and they need you to use the player cards as evidence, they make it pretty obvious you need to be looking at the the character cards.
Yeah, most of the time when it is used in court will typically be the judge saying something like, so who do you think really did it? And then it will give you, the evidence window, and you
or
switch
do you
over to
have any
profiles.
evidence to suggest that this is not the case for this person? Then I feel like they make it pretty obvious that you need to look at those. It's not like a shot in the dark kind of thing.
And speaking of new game mechanics, I don't know if anybody really bumped into this as a result of this being the tutorial case, but there's a new damage mechanic.
Oh, I definitely did.
It's a meter now.
So, I've been playing on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I never had the exclamation marks. It's always been a meter for me.
It's always been a meter the whole time. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I ran
Before
into
it was
the
5
meter.
exclamation points.
Yeah, the meter really just had 5 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's now certain things do more quote unquote damage to you.
Damn it.
Certain things do more damage, other things do less, whatever.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more granularity. And without getting into spoilers, there will be other ways it will be used later. Because another game mechanic will be introduced in game 2. Or in case 2, excuse me. So
You're not technically wrong on that front, but
yeah. So yeah, once we get into the next case, then I think y'all will be interested in how how that plays out with the new game mechanic. Because it takes a little
I
bit.
do like that mechanic. It's good.
It takes a little bit of the courtroom and brings it out into the investigation world. Essentially, is what it does. So yeah, I guess then. So for this whole tutorial case, then we wrap up. You nail Wellington for running this ring of con artists and being the one behind the murder. Maggie thanks you. Maya is like, dang.
Oh yeah,
Phoenix.
the only reason that Dustin dies is because he was wearing his uniform.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking Richard thought he was gonna get arrested.
Yep. So that was the only thing that set everything in motion in the first place was Dustin wearing his uniform. And then Maggie says thank you. Maya comes by and is like, "Wow, Phoenix, you really sure did get conked on the head. I'm definitely not going to take you to the hospital now. Instead, we're going to reminisce about how we met." And, the game...
Here, use your brain really hard now.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. And it starts to kind of fade out as Phoenix goes, yes, I remember it like it was just a couple weeks ago that I met Maya again after our long break. So, and also...
Take him to the hospital.
Yeah. So, I think it's a fun little introduction to game 2. But the next case is really where things start to like ramp up and introduce new game mechanics, get into a full case, and meet the new prosecutor as well, who's the main prosecutor for this game.
She's gonna be the prosecutor for every time?
I'm ready.
You'll have to see exactly how they handle it. But there will be some interesting story beats that I every time I try to talk about this without giving spoilers, it sounds like I am just saying nothing at all. So I should probably just wait until we get there, right?
Yeah.
I've been so fucking like office pilled by Facebook because you said beats and I thought that was a reference to The Office. How one of the characters likes beats. I think I need to delete my Facebook.
I think you probably can and should. Free yourselves from Facebook, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry if your family's there, but like, can't say
Episode 1, we said ACAB. No. Episode 1 of the new game, delete your Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the
theme of this game is delete Facebook.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. Dustin obviously didn't work out very well for him wearing his uniform, so I'm just saying. Maybe a different line of work is in the cards.
That's kind of suck for Dustin.
I mean,
Dustin?
yes. He didn't, as far as we know, he seemed like an alright guy, but...
I think that Maggie Burr should find a new job because apparently she's the unluckiest person alive and should find a new career.
Yeah, it's not usually a good idea when you're a cop.
Also, Gumshoe has a fucking crush on her. That's a weird power dynamic, but I guess that's a little too much to go into.
Gumshoe? Yeah. I mean...
They play it up as like a cartoon, like, aww. Like
Yeah.
Yogi Bear crushing on the other, fucking bear. I forget what her name is.
I mean, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that, like, that is never, like, fully, like, made, like, a story beat or anything like that, but it's just something that they always just toss in there as, like,
okay. Good
little
shit.
thing here and there. Like, oh, Gumshoe and Maggie, kind of thing.
Gumshoe's gonna get pied in the face.
Gumshoe is absolutely the type of person to get pied. Absolutely.
Oh no, because I know there's going to be a clown in this game.
I cannot remember if there's... I genuinely cannot remember if the clowns are going to pie anybody. I don't remember.
I know there's...
We'll find out together.
It's like we blocked that out of our heads.
I don't like clowns.
There's two types of clowns. There's like the evil... Hi, like evil clown like that, right? And then there's the that was a
what is the
noise?
clown that starts the beginning of that one Ozzy Osbourne song?
That?
I was trying to do like the like nose honk noise, but I really fucked it up.
Oh, we're all
There it is.
We're all
I
in
tried to
great
move
shape.
past it. I was just trying to keep my stride, and you tripped me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It makes for better. It's fine. So yeah, there's evil clowns that eat people, and then there's like the sexy girl clown. And I know the sexy girl clown isn't in this one because she's 3-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's got the evil clown in the game, huh? There's the evil clown in this game.
You'll find out.
The second I
case
see a clown,
3.
I don't care what case it is, I'm going to assume he's the murderer. There's no
Okay.
way I see a clown. I assume the sexy clown girl is a murderer too. I assume all clowns are murderers.
I do. I fear the. I fear
I got-
clowns.
Need somebody to start writing down Tiago's predictions.
Yeah.
Right.
I need
Just so
to-
we can have a book and check off which ones are right and which ones are wrong.
Prediction
to work
time
on
for
my-
Rose is that Whip Girl just kills me and that I'm out of the podcast.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, you Rose? No.
Yeah.
You're a friend. We need you.
That's how I would want to go.
That's true. I need to work on making a better like clown honk noise because I just got called out by my
you?
fellow podcast. Hi. No, not a. That's better. I made the same fucking noise again.
Ozzy Osbourne's fucking like agent's gonna call you.
Oh my god, we're gonna get copyright strike on the podcast.
DCMA.
We'll
I
never
just
be able
made
to
the
monetize.
fucking crazy train noise and it didn't appear on Discord because it was too high pitched. But it's on the fucking recording, so there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all gonna hear
This is
this.
the end for us.
No, not that one. It's hard. You know, like that one Vine where like the guys like I ordered soda, they gave me fucking clown juice, and then he made the straw make the clown noise.
No.
No.
Ben, in the Twitter notes for this episode, can you include that Vine?
You'll have to send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's because it's real, and I'm not.
It's not a major arcana vibe that we can all remember.
Major or one of the foundations of Vine.
We all miss Vine. This is the truth.
Yo, dead ass! I found it. I'm linking
You
it to your.
All right.
I'm linking it to the Discord. I want
is this
your
going
recorded.
in? Is this going in the recording?
I guess.
I'm
Too
forcing
late
y'all.
now.
I'm forcing y'all at gunpoint.
Oh, this one.
please.
Okay, I do remember
I
this
put
one.
it in
We
schedule.
cannot watch
Okay.
Vines on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah. Here's the we can't just all sit here in silence as we watch videos on the podcast.
It's a
but-
Vine. It's 7 seconds.
We
No,
cannot
no.
watch Vines on the podcast.
All right, we're not watching Vines on the podcast, but I now feel better knowing that I sent you the material in which I was
Yep.
referencing. I gave you my bibliography.
Understood.
We should call it. I gotta leave.
We should call it here.
You know,
We've
we're
completed
devolving,
case
folks.
2-1, which that'll do it for this week, folks. You can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod to stay up to date on our latest episodes, as well as the streams and YouTube uploads of Dessy and I playing through the games. You can follow me on Twitter at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Yes, this is Des, unfortunately, on Twitter.
And
If anybody
Tiago.
ever finds a better art sharing site, let me know.
DeviantArt.
No.
No.
I mean, what else you got?
I mean, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's why we're on
Weebly.
Twitter.
Yep.
Weebly.
That's not what. Yeah, we're good.
Tiago, where can people find you?
Oh, I didn't expect to be next. My name is Tiago, and you can find me at Tiago Dutra. No, wait, at Tiago S Dutra.
Mhm.
At Tiago S Dutra on Twitter.com. On there, you'll find me, Tiago Dutra, and stuff I retweet, which is either some jokes or me retweeting the main Ace Attorney pod
This
and art.
This is getting away from me. Rose, where can people find you?
You can find me at rosefristrom.weebly.com. Just kidding. You can find me on Trauma Arts on Twitter.
All right.
Link it
Thank you,
Weebly.
everybody. Thank you,
I'll kill
everybody,
you.
so much for listening.
I'm so
We'll hope
sorry.
We hope you'll rate and review us
That's
on
using
Apple
the raised
Podcasts.
voice of "Shut up and let me finish."
Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Next episode, we'll be heading into Case 2 and playing the second case, 2-2, Reunion, and Turnabout, in which we will get into how we meet Maya again. And
We're halfway through it on the Let's Play.
yeah, so we are. Yeah, we've already played through the first half of it on the Let's Play, so you can see the VODs live now. And by the time you hear this, we will be prepping for the next episode. So stay tuned, like I said, to the Twitter account to see when we go live for the second half of that. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Hi,
Bye.
Bye.
hi.
God damn it.